Hello everyone. So I watch over 3 or 4 minutes video of Senator Akpabio's wife just blabbing, because that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm not even going to call it something. It's blabbing, and I don't know who these people think they are going to intimidate, and the audacity and the kind of words that they use, the way they use it, the condescending manner in which this whole thing they're taking it is just unbelievable. Do they think they're I'm just trying to get get the words in. I just watched that video. I'm like, wow, you want to defend your husband? No, Anna. Nobody said you should not defend your husband. But defend him coherently, defend him with facts. Don't tell us that your husband is disciplined. Your husband, how? How do you know your husband is disciplined? This is not the first time that your husband is being accused by high-level women. Talk less of other women that will be suppressed, that will not even have mouth, that don't have that will not have mouth to talk. This is literally a senator that got into Senate on her merit, on her grit, on her courage, on her fighting for the mandate that the people gave her. It took a long time. This is someone who has fought against all odds to get to where she is. And he's doing this to her, and you're coming to tell us your husband is disciplined, your husband is what, with all the things that your husband has been saying and a lot of things that he has said, over time. I don't get it. But anyway, I listened to this video, I took notes, and I want you to also listen. I sort of like cut the video into bits so that we look at it and we just talk about the things that she has said. So here's the first video.
So I really don't understand where this is coming from. And I believe that for somebody to go and make such an allegation, there must be a discussion at home. There must have been a sanction or an approval. We are going to say this, go ahead and say it. And if the approval has come from the husband, our friend, I believe that he would have spoken to me, because we are close. He's close to my husband. But if he didn't give her the approval to go on air and make such an allegation, then the question is, okay, does he have...
So you saw that. So first of all, she's talking about she doesn't understand where this is coming from. Madam Akpabio, this is coming from the allegation that your husband is making sexual harassment against someone, and because of that, it's making life difficult for her. You understand? I don't know whether Madam Akpabio has ever heard of sex for grades or has encountered such or whatever. It's almost the same thing, because what Senator Natasha is saying, that because she didn't play ball by the things, by what he wants, he's now literally making life difficult for this. And then Madam Akpabio went on to say that there must be a discussion at home. Yes, there must be a discussion, the way we also expect that there would have been a discussion at home between Madam Akpabio and Senator Akpabio, and for Akpabio to stop doing the things that he does outside of his home, the embarrassment he caused the nation at all time with his utterances and the things he says, and a lot, and the allegation that we have seen also from other people. One very known one is the one that even said she slapped him because of the sexual harassment. That's the ex NDDC boss. Did Madam Akpabio sit down to have a conversation with Senator Akpabio? And then she now said that if it's sanctioned and approved, whether they sanction and approve, and that this husband is a friend of the family, and he should have spoken to her. On what basis will he come to you? He's not like your husband, who right now the allegation is that he's going after his friend's wife, even in their presence, of his friend. I trust the ways some women who are patriarchy gatekeepers always do. They will do everything to exempt the man. So as far as she's concerned, which is where she ended this whole conversation, this particular video that we just watched, is the fact that if he didn't give approval, does he have control? So now it's now turned to the place of, oh, does Senator Natasha's husband have control over her? It's always brought down to this control that people think they always would use, where it's like, oh, does he have? So the question that I would like to ask Madam Akpabio is that, does she have control over her husband? Or is it with her approval he's doing all these things that he's being accused of? That's one. But then the next thing, let's go to the next conversation and see what it is that Madam Akpabio also said.
Was taking place in his presence, he could have heard. Even the body gesticulation could have shown the man that there was something wrong. Security men are always with the SP. So for that night, I knew I served people. People were at home. The house is never empty when he's around, because constituents will be there, Akpabio people will be there, and they never leave him. Whether the house in the village in Okana or the house in Uyo. And there's no way a man that is as disciplined as that can think of taking a woman to his home. He has a lot of respect for me and for my children, and regard.
Interesting talk right there, where she's talking about that. Oh, that they were all the house. She was there, 7 people. They were there. Yeah, this is taking place in the presence, and I think that's actually so disgustingly. I don't even know what proper word to actually use to describe that. That this is your friend, and according to the allegation, you were coming at your friend's wife in the presence of where your friend is there. That's so disgusting, honestly. That's unbelievably, disgusting. She talked about the fact that the talking was in his prayer. He could have heard that the body gesticulation, that there are always security with the Senate President Akpabio. People are always with him. And then she told us something about, oh, a man as disciplined as that can't think of taking a woman to his house. He has lots of regards for her. Now, madam, I don't think he has regards for you. You wish he had regards for you. And this is the thing about, men who are into this kind of thing. They always have women that will defend them to no man's business, because the women always live in la la land. They don't want to believe, even when the evidence is staring them in the face. They would rather not believe, because they don't want to confront what is it that they should do if they believe it. So they will negate and belittle and say everything it's all a lie. But just to take it and say the fact that yes, indeed, the man was there, and even from Senator Natasha's recount, it seems as if the man heard, even if not all, he heard some, or he had an inkling of what was going on. I mean, you can't be somebody's friend and not know how they are, how they behave, what they do. There are some people who don't have control, and you've seen a lot of times where Senator Akpabio, the remarks he has made, the things he has said. Remember the nightclub incidents, the things he has said. Even for me, I always take it back to even his aide putting out a press statement where they say Natasha is always doing pancake and wearing transparent clothing. If you're not literally eating her with your eyes, how are you seeing whether she's wearing any transparent clothing or she's not wearing transparent clothing? That's where the mind is focused in. But I just want you now to take a moment. It's going to be quite a long video. This video, unfortunately, is going to be extremely long, but just have to take my thoughts through with this. I hope you're able to say, just listen to what Senator Natasha Akpoti had to say, about this whole thing, for you to understand the husband, sense certain things. Here it is.
To that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akpabio because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akpabio. And at first, we were at Ikot-Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot-Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyu, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us. Just 3 of us were walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that. This designer here, he bought this from. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, do you like my house? I said, of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste. He said, now that you're a senator, I'm going to create time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it. At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate president too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate president now said, oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel. He has a chapel in his house as well. So when we were going to the chapel, you know, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate president's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Ikot-Ekpene. And my husband asked me, Natasha, what did the Senate president whisper to you? What's he telling you? I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, wrap it as if there was nothing? Because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate president. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. After, when we laid in bed, I lay to my right and my husband wrapped his arms around me and he said, my love, you know you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate president tell you? Again, I was like, don't you believe me? I said, nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy. Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate president's house because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, you know, after office to like get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move emotion. I wanted to move emotion.
You heard it all there. So that tells you, so what the wife is saying, from what Senator Natasha is saying, that the husband felt it. Even if he didn't hear anything, he felt something. If he could feel, you know, something. Look at what she said when the husband came in and he looked at her. She was like, did he hear what the Senate president had said? And the Senate president also looked worried, and they had to leave that whole place in silence. You could see, you know, and then he asked her, what did the Senate president say to you? And she wanted to kill it there, which I totally understand, because a lot of time you don't want to cause tension. There are certain things that you will not want to cause tension, especially they are friends or one thing or the other. I know sometimes when these things happen, you're like, okay, what the heck is going on here? She just wants to do her job. She will not want a situation where the husband is probably saying now, okay, now no longer being supportive of what she's doing because he feels that, oh, some men, some this thing. And one thing that I've known, I have a friend also who is very beautiful, amazingly beautiful. We call her goddess, you understand? Very beautiful and very intelligent. And it was from her that I realized that there is so much, you know, discrimination that women who are very beautiful and intelligent get. A lot. So it seems as if, almost as if they want women who are beautiful and dumb, so they can use them anyhow. Or even if you're intelligent, you should you should not be that this thing. But when they see that powerful combination, and then there's always this thing about whenever they see a beautiful woman, they always think that, oh, she doesn't have anything up her head, she doesn't have anything, she can't achieve anything. And when they see them achieving these great, amazing things, it puts the men, you know, it always makes them feel insecure, and so there's so much that goes. So I'm sure with someone like Senator Natasha, who is quite beautiful, and quite very intelligent, these are some of the things that she's constantly having to negotiate all around. So just trying to dampen it. And for what she said, the husband will call and I say, you know, you can tell me anything. That means he really said. So that thing that he really saw what was going on. He had either heard, or he has a feeling, or he knows this his particular friend. So that his wife, Madam Akpabio, coming to say that the husband would, yes, the husband did feel it. The husband did sense it. And that's the reason why he would say to his wife, I don't want you traveling alone, you know, out of the country, and I don't want you going to the Senate president. And to see all... according to this, but he said they even have chapel. That's why I always tell you people think, yeah, pray. Yeah. These people, they will out pray you. They will use your money to buy all the malams and the pastors combined together that will be praying on their behalf. You know, they pray. Anyway, we'll continue. We'll continue the conversation. So just listen to this very one.
And none of them, not one, ever said something like this. The Senate president is a very, very responsible man and disciplined.
This one is really quite interesting. Not one ever said something like this. Well, they probably are too afraid. There are some who are too afraid to say anything like this. There are some who are buying into it. There are some who are liking it. There are some that the fact that somebody hasn't said something doesn't mean that what somebody is saying is wrong. So that's what Madam Akpabio needs to understand, and take some chills pill. You understand? Go and see that if you are the one in the position of the Senate president being accused by someone alleging sex, he is not going to come out and be defending. I don't know why wives feel there's an obligation that they feel that, oh, women must come out and defend their husbands even when the husbands are doing nonsense and rubbish. I don't know where you people got their memo from. But madam, just sit that one out. When you're talking about responsible men with discipline, I don't think your husband is one of those that responsible and disciplined, and their names will be mentioned in the same sentence. We see the irresponsible statements that he's made a lot of time. We've seen the indisciplined statements and actions that he has taken a lot of time in the public display, and he has come to apologize for some of them. So madam, please, they calm down. Let's take a look at the next one.
Please tell me, if you can't stand the heat, leave the kitchen. I'm here to serve my people. They will throw mud at me. I said, but this mud is becoming too much. Why can't you do something? So I'm now the one going for a legal address.
Okay. They say if you can't stand the heat, leave the kitchen. And Senator Akpabio is telling her that these are the things that are going to come up again and again. Well, it's coming up because of his behavior, not necessarily because he's a Senate president or he's in that office. He has constantly abused that office, constantly, say things, inappropriate things and stuff like that. He has been called many times out for that. He has been accused of this sexual harassment, not just, and Senator Natasha Akpoti is the second high-ranking woman who has come out to make this allegation. In short, one even said she slapped him. She slapped him. She don't send anything. And then the Senate president's wife is saying now that she's not the one. I'm now the one going for a legal address, residential official. Hey, I'm sure, is it legal? These people, me, I'm not a lawyer, but is it legal address or legal redress? Which one is it? But anyway, I'm gonna end this one for you to see where the other lady who had made accusation against him, the video that she said. Just take a look at this.
Goni woman, the only Nigerian woman that has slapped his face.
Why did you slap him? Why did you slap him?
He slapped him because of his plan B. He thought that he could since he couldn't get me to take that money, he thought that plan B, if it could come up on me, he didn't know that I'm a Port Harcourt girl. Port Harcourt girls are not moved by money, by somebody telling me that you make me a substantive MD. The Port Harcourt girls are
Can
not
we
moved
clarify
by anything.
this? Because we can't gloss over a slap. What is the plan B? He came up on you. What exactly does that mean?
We were having a meeting. Akpabio's meeting with me is either in Apple or at Meridian or whatever. Those are his meetings. I slapped him.
Well, Joy, are you accusing Senator Akpabio of attempted rape? Is that the point you are making? Or sexual harassment?
Harassment sounds better, not rape.
Okay, so you are accusing him expressly of sexual harassment?
Yes, I am accused.